living and breathing in Malmo, Sweden.
That's right. Yeah, I've been there for about 9 months, and if I may, it's been an astonishing experience working with the folks.
Excellent, I got that. So tell us about the philosophy behind how the Astonishing Tribe works. It's really kind of unique.
Definitely, TNT's motto has been design loves technology, right? And it's this whole idea of taking really great user designs and marrying that with the technology to realize them. And it's something that this group lives and breathes every day. The constant interaction between the designers and the developers to get things exactly.
And I mean, there's a tremendous pedigree behind this company. I mean, they've been putting some pretty mind-blowing ideas out there on the internet for years.
Yeah.
So it's really been just a pleasure getting to know them and really understanding how they work behind the scenes.
Exactly. And so yeah, like you said, we've been taking this design loves technology and trying to take that pedigree and put it into BlackBerry 10 on this prepackaged elements.
Excellent. So let's take a look. This is the Cascade UI framework.
Yeah, so the first thing I want to show you here, and this is a great example of design loves technology, because what I asked the team to develop here is an application that shows off each of the core controls that we have available in Cascades. And rather than simply do a standard boring application that shows each of the controls, a designer and developer sat together working on this and came up with this notion of a cookbook. Right? So you have all your recipes to build your applications. And the source code for this particular application will be included with the Cascades tooling. So anybody building applications can see the source code behind all of these core controls.
Okay, so let's take a look at a couple.
Yeah, there's a couple I want to kind of show off here today and show some of what we've been talking about. So this is an example. The background here behind the text is an image, and there's kind of a leather texture to it. And as we change the size of the text, you can see the animation of the image as it grows and shrinks. And in addition,
so as a developer, I mean, what do you need to do to take advantage of some of these rich effects, the flow of the animation?
It's all completely built in. You basically say this is my starting point. I need it to be this big when it has these lines, this big when it has these lines, and the animations everything in between is all handled by the framework. And including, I don't know if people notice, but the radio buttons here is a transition between them. Right? You can see the blue shading kind of slides between the buttons, and the white dot in the center pops out. And again, all you do is put 2 radio buttons in a group, and the rest of it for free.
Very cool. Now, what about some other?
Yeah, so a couple other things I can show off here. So here's again some examples of animations, right? So if I change from a supersized to a small size scrambled eggs, right? You can see both the size of the eggs animates as it changes, and the third one when it comes in kind of wobbles.
Again, this is you're providing the assets, and the framework is doing the work. Now, what if you want to change the dynamics, like the physics behind it?
Definitely, yeah. So just an example here, this screen here shows off some of the stock physics curves that we have built in. So you don't really have to understand anything about the physics of acceleration and deceleration in your animations. You simply pick one of the ones that you want, and the framework does the rest for you.
Make it bounce around.
You can totally make it bounce around.
All right. So this is amazing. Again, like looking at other platforms, I mean, typically this kind of work, you would need a background in graphics and physics to be able to achieve some of these effects. They're all baked right into the framework. So let's take a look at some of these in an actual app.
Yeah, so this is a pretty straightforward example of a memo application. This one the guys built for me to help me with my Swedish pronunciations and my Swedish meatball recipe.
Again, some animation coming in.
Exactly. So the text-based list, you can see the smooth scrolling. As I click on items, you see the text animates in and out. I can create a new one. You see the kind of you can see the page kind of flow in when I created a new one here.
Yep.
If I want to delete one, we have this kind of shredding effect. And again, these are all the examples of effects.
3D effects that are literally dropped in and prepackaged as part of the core framework.
Exactly. One more here. I know this is your favorite one. If I use my 2-finger pinch here on the list, what I can do is filter. And again, you talk about these 3D effects on a 2D element.
What I love about this is, I mean, here you have a pretty standard app, right? A basic notes app. You're using 3D in a way that's not just frivolous. It's really adding function to it. I mean, this is really, for me at least, showing how you can take this going forward with something like Cascade.
Exactly. Yeah. In this case, we're filtering based on whether you have them starred or not. So if you simply want to see your favorites, you just.
So let's take a look at something a little more out there in terms of the UI concept.
So this is an example of a photo viewing application. And you can see it's kind of the idea here was sort of a laid-back concept. The photos sort of float down like leaves and then float down the river. Control the scroll. Yeah, and you can see it shifts between some different camera angles. If I touch on ones, I can see some of the text that's associated with it. again, right behind the scenes, this is a standard Cascades list. It's just the designer just re-imaged how they want the UI on top.
So things like, I mean, you have shaders showing the curves on the edges of the photos.
Exactly.
You have the drop shadows coming down. All of this is baked in as pre-canned kind of effects.
Yep.
I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah, and you can see it's more than just still images. There's videos in here as well.
Really cool. All right, now how about something that kind of takes a real-world problem and kind of applies the Cascades treatment?
Yeah, so this is a great example here. So this, again, behind the scenes, it's a standard list. There's over 300,000 inbox lists here that we're processing live as we play with this. And this is just a different graphical way of viewing the same data. So we've got colors here based on people. I can filter on the kinds of messages.
Definitely use this on my...
Yeah, exactly. If I screw, again with the two finger pinch, I can zoom in and see.
I mean, the performance is incredible, right? It's just completely fluid.
And we've got the little hot topic text here that kind of
bounces like little tag
clouds. Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, maybe the future of how we manage communications, and made possible again by the power of the underlying OS and the Cascade UI.
Exactly.
So this is amazing stuff, Jeff. Thank you very much.
Okay.